What's up? This is the Screen Fiends version of All Eyes on Me, the spoiler review. You guys have saw my Casino for Life channel. You've already seen the All Eyes on Me layout over there. This is the spoiler review, which I'm going to harp on some of the things in the film that happened that I really didn't talk about in there because I wanted people to go out and see the film first. So if you haven't seen the film, you can go watch my review of it on my Casino for Life channel and go see it. But it's a biopic, so it's you already know what's gonna happen. Now, when they first start off, they got Tupac when he was in jail for the case when he allegedly touched the girl's buttocks or whatever, and put in there for that, and all the other charges were thrown out. Now, from what was involved there, now you got now you got a situation in which he's telling the story like it's Tupac telling his own story. I like the way they set that up. That I had no problem with. And as the film opens, it starts showing his mother as a Black Panther, and Shed So Many Tears is so present in the film, and it's a perfect song because it's his whole life is like based off this, and that's like a lockdown song. Like, yo, remember my homeboys, remember, man, I've been shed so many tears throughout the year. It fit the theme of the film. So when you see his mom giving, rights and her coming out of the courtroom pregnant with Tupac, as she just fought all these cases, by herself, fought a trial, won their case against the government. And other than that, she'd have been in jail, had Tupac in jail. He probably would have died from malnutrition because she wasn't given medical attention. She wasn't given, proper nourishment at all. So the fact that she was able to win her case and get out of jail and be acquitted of the charges didn't free her from different situations. I felt that the film was trying to make one big point at the end, trying to line everything up with the clips, but to me, this film is a highlight of things we've already seen. I'm thinking in All Eyes on Me, we're going to hear more about things we didn't see or didn't know. I didn't learn anything new from watching this film. It's like the stuff you already seen on the internet, what Tupac did an interview of, they remade that. They remade these. They're remaking scenes that we already have seen or know about. There's very few scenes that we haven't seen that we can't relate to. And then it does not stick. And that's why it's just a collective shots of scenes from like other. That's why I say when you have so many people giving you information on stories, like, yo, man, I remember that time me and Pop went to the store. We went to the store and this dude pushed us, man. Yeah, put that in there. And stuff like that is in the movie. And Tupac, they got like the part when they have him go from, let me see, he was the baby in his mother's womb. They immediately cut and goes to where he's like probably a little kid watching Matulu give a speech. He's probably like 4. Then they cut and they go into another scene where he's like 8 or 9. And after that one scene, cut. And then now he's a teenager, like, doing a Raisin in the Sun and doing Shakespeare on stage where he meets Jada Pickett. And I felt this was a good connection piece here. They kind of like swift through all that. I understood why they had to go. They didn't have time to really linger. But they go into it with the Jada Pickett scene. And the actress that played Jada Pickett, I think she did a tremendous job playing Jada Pickett, but it's so spotty with the relationship because it's like he moves away and has to go from New York to Cali. Now, when he was in New York, this guy named Legs. We don't know who Legs is. You know, for the regular viewer at home, who is Legs? They don't explain who Legs is. I guess he's just a neighborhood guy who runs this block, who seems to always bring them groceries and food. But other than that, the general public does not know who in the world Legs is. And the film will not tell you. You know, he just like, yo, what's up, Legs? And we're like, okay, all right, well, we're going to hear something about Legs. Nothing. We get no information more on Legs. Legs is just somebody that was from the hood or whatever. And, you know, D-Ray played Legs, you know. After this, it shifts again. And he goes to Cali, and then they put him in Oakland, where that's not where he moved to. He moved to Marin City. He did not move to Oakland. If you're going to tell it and make it a biopic, tell it the right way. He moved, they show the incident, they kind of glance over the incident in Marin City rather than talk about what led up to the events or what the problem may have been growing up in Marin City. I'm from Chicago. If somebody was from Blue Island or Dalton, Illinois, they don't say I'm from Chicago. They say I'm from Dalton. But if somebody out of town said, they might say, oh, okay, you from Chicago. You just say, yeah, suburb of it. But he's not from Oakland. He didn't move to Oakland till later. Once he did Juice and all that other stuff, then he moved to Oakland and started talking about the Bay, the Bay, the Bay, the Bay, the Bay, and all of his songs. You know, talking about Oakland and Oaktown and all this stuff about Oakland, and wasn't talking about Marin City. See, that's a lot of stuff people don't understand that I might have to go back and explain all over again. But during these times, you know, when they got all that mixed up, and God just threw him in Oakland, period, and put him with, you know, you could see this where Shock was telling the story. You know, Shock was his thing with the Humpty dance and all the stuff that was happening with Shock and him. You know, they kind of went through that, and when Same Song came out, you know, and you know, that was that. So all of this is done. Now he went and got his own crib in Oakland. That was his first crib he ever gotten, is when he moved to Oakland. That's when he was running around touring with Shock, and he'd have his boy putting his stuff in like storage or whatever. His boy was holding the stuff some of the times, and he was like, yo, man, you know, I'm gonna pay you and hit you with this later on. But they go from that. They never tell you what happened with the Marin City shooting. In the Marin City shooting, they got basically one situation where the guy gets shot. I mean, the kid gets shot. They focus on that. They never show you the fallout after that. They cut and just move on from the scene. You know, they don't even show you when the neighborhood chase Pac and he has to hide under a car till the police come there and arrest him. That would have been more impactful to show that, to show the significance of what just happened. A kid just died. You gloss over that. And that's when I'm like, wow, they are really blowing it. I'm watching this and I'm like, they're blowing this bad, blowing it. And I see what they were trying to do, and it's kind of hard to do, but I think like some of the scenes that you done could have been done a lot better. And even though the actor that played Tupac, he did what, you know, what they focused on him to do, like see how Pac movement was here, how he was talking to the media, you know, do that, you know, but you know, don't try to be like making it like Tupac, trying to get the voice and everything like Tupac. Just act it out. act out the scene. And by him acting out the scenes, some of them where he really, you kind of saw a little bit of Tupac and like, oh, okay, that's what's up. All right, it's the little scenes he started to, like, okay, I see a little Pac in him, and then that kind of switched because he didn't have the passion, and that's why I spoke on. They kind of used anger in place of passion when he should have been passionate in certain scenes. You didn't feel it. You didn't feel the impact of it because it was misused with anger or bitterness. When it was really should have been a passion he should have came from. And a lot of people don't understand passion and anger. Passion could lead to anger, if something, because you might be frustrated because you're really passionate about what you do. That comes out the way you talk to somebody about something you care about is coming from a passion. People be like, hey man, what's all this? I'm not mad. I'm really just telling you, this is how I feel. I'm just saying it in a very passionate way because this is what it means to me. Like, it's serious with me. Like, I really care. And some people just don't understand that. But it's a lot of confusion that comes with that, with anger. And what this film did, man, gosh, is they Kadada Jones, like, was she in a? I had to check the credits to see was she a silent producer. There's a lot of silent producers in this film, like Snoop and Floyd Mayweather. Kadada Jones might be one. All these people got together, and that's why they start putting out like, man, this movie, this guy was this, he was great, and they start doing their little push ads because all these guys want to be a part, of this scene so much. This film, they want to be a part of the Tupac movement, the Tupac film, and they want to be, want the movie to be a success, and I think it's gonna be a success early on, but once it comes out and people see what it really looks like, it might just like, people might not rush back to go see it. It's one of those movies that it's okay, but Kadada Jones, man, like, what were they thinking? Kadada Jones have never been this important in her entire career. She hasn't. She tried to be a rap star. She was just with LL Cool J. Watch my Kadada and LL Cool J video. Go see about that beef, so you can understand what Kadada Jones was. Kadada Jones is, come on, she loved rappers. Okay, period. She was in love with rappers. She was dating LL and all of this craziness, and they tried to make it look like Pac was super in love with her and all this stuff. Are you serious? Are you serious? You know, he liked Kadada a lot. I'm not gonna say he didn't, but to the level where it made like she was so super important, and the layout of Pac and everything else, and the last conversation they had before he left out the hotel room when there were other people in that room, and they made it so significant. And I understand you have to have an arc of the film, and this is the last time you're gonna see him again, and I'm just at a point with this film where there's no surprises, and at the end they show him get shot, and now once they show him get shot, they pull off, and once they speed off and everything, you see they pull off and they get Pac out the car, lay Pac out on the floor, and Pac sitting there bleeding. And everybody's screaming and yelling. They got the smoke from the engine of the car, whatever is going over, hovering over Tupac, and no ambulance show up. They just cut the film like right there and start putting Tupac died 6 days later. I'm like, wow, that's how they're gonna end this. I mean, there was so many moving parts to deal with that happened after the shots were fired, knowing those 6 days before you passed, 6, 7 days, that all the things that were going on at that time was worth about a movie. Because a lot of people was jumping out of positions. They didn't know what was going on, what was going to happen. Everything was on hold. What's going to happen with Pac? People saying he gonna be in a coma for the rest of his life, and he was gonna be on a breathing machine, and all kind of stuff. And it was just surreal, real surreal at that time. So, all I can tell you is you can go check out the film. It's a good film, but it's one of the films that should have probably been on BET or something, or A&E's, like true Hollywood story of Tupac. It did not seem like a movie. It seemed like a series of clips and highlights. And the guy that played Haitian Jack, he was funny. He was really funny in the film. But overall, like I said, 2.5. I'm out.